In this episode, we have a strange case, probably one of the strangest I've come across. It would involve a jealous, emotionally tortured boyfriend, armed with a gun, and a woman that would do anything to keep him, which would be setting up her ex to be murdered. It would lead to a trap, a shooting across a busy Sainsbury's car park, and the most bizarre way in how the couple were captured. A real curio that's as brutal as it is tragic. We go back to June 2021 to 23-year-old Shannon Rule. After splitting from her 26-year-old boyfriend several months before, she had met 23-year-old Daniel Gordon, but still dated other men. Her previous boyfriend had been tortured by her constant affairs and decided no more and to make a break away from her to protect his sanity. Months after the split, Shannon Rule started sending videos of her in intimate interactions with other men. After being bombarded by these, her previous boyfriend decided to put an end to it and to warn Shannon's new boyfriend of who he's with and effectively end all contact once and for all. Shannon's old boyfriend sent the videos he'd been sent to her new boyfriend, Daniel Gordon. But as you can imagine, Daniel Gordon was very upset, believing he was Shannon's only partner. From June the 19th, 2021, Daniel Gordon sent messages to Shannon saying how extremely unhappy he was, where in return, she deflected everything onto her old boyfriend. In further texts, Daniel Gordon got more and more angry, saying of his desire to shoot and kill her ex, and texts of attacking him in very despicable ways. He also demanded her ex's photo and address to end him. Shannon realised she was losing Daniel Gordon and went to extreme lengths to keep him, which would be arranging a trap and murdering her ex-boyfriend. Shannon decided to show her love for Daniel Gordon by arranging a honey trap to bring her ex to a meet. She contacted her ex saying she wants to meet and put the past behind them and go on with their lives and to apologise. Her ex agreed to the meet and see Shannon at Sainsbury's car park in Morden in South London at 12:30 lunchtime. But unknown to her ex-boyfriend, Daniel Gordon would be waiting with Shannon and he'd be armed with a gun. And both Shannon and Daniel Gordon's plan was to kill her ex-boyfriend. On the morning, Shannon and Daniel Gordon took a taxi to Chingford and then took a train to Morden. All the way, Daniel Gordon was sitting with a bag between his legs, carrying a large automatic pistol. Shannon and Daniel Gordon arrived at the car park of the Sainsbury's in Morden an hour before the meet. Daniel Gordon hid in a position where he could see the meeting place. Just before 12:30, Shannon's ex turned up at the Sainsbury's car park and made his way across to see Shannon. Daniel Gordon then came out from his hiding place and fired 10 rounds in quick succession across the car park, where her mother was pushing a pram and other shoppers were going to and from their cars. People were in shock and thought it was kids playing a prank, while many thought it was a car backfiring. Shannon's ex-boyfriend was shot multiple times and lied slumped on the floor. Shannon and Daniel Gordon ran through an alley off the back of Sainsbury's car park. Daniel Gordon changed his clothes and threw them in a nearby bin with a gun and his mobile phone. The duo then ran through some side roads and ended up on Central Road, where they were spotted again and witnesses had taken photos of Shannon and Daniel Gordon. The couple ran through garages and then past an MOT centre where David Gordon tried to alter his appearance again. The couple then ran over the road to a path to a wildlife trail. David Gordon then tried to persuade a woman to use her phone. She refused and the couple kept running. At this time, Shannon's ex was on the ground still alive, but was in a bad way, struggling to breathe. A member of the public had called 999. Armed police units and paramedics were on their way. Armed police arrived in under 8 minutes. Police secured the scene and paramedics arrived soon after. Witnesses were talking to police's armed response unit and started showing photos of Shannon and Daniel Gordon taken on their phones after they disposed of their clothing. When one of the officers said which direction, another witness came forward and said they ran to a pathway that led to a field that was next to Central Road. As police looked over the pathway, a man and a woman appeared from an entrance to some playing fields. One of the witnesses shouted, "It's them." Police shouted orders, "Armed police, stay where you are, arms in the air, and slowly lie face down on the ground, keeping your hands visible." The man and the woman was Daniel Gordon and Shannon Rule. They were immediately arrested. But why come back to the crime scene? We'll look at that in a moment, and I'll tell you why. Paramedics had rushed Shannon's ex to the hospital, where he had multiple bullet wounds and life-threatening injuries. With both suspects arrested at the crime scene, in a police interview, Shannon Rule said she had no idea that Daniel Gordon had a gun or intended to hurt her ex-boyfriend. This, though, fell apart when police unlocked Shannon's phone and text messages between her and Daniel Gordon that proved that she knew exactly what Daniel Gordon was going to do, and that he was armed, and that he wanted to kill Shannon's ex. The trial took place on April 2023 at Kingston-upon-Thames Crown Court, with Judge Peter Lodder, King's Counsel, presiding. Daniel Gordon pleaded guilty ahead of his trial to attempted murder, while Shannon Rule was found guilty of attempted murder by jury. Judge Lodder said, "Your victim, a man now aged 26, faces a lifetime of serious, painful and depressing disability. You too, only 23 years old, will be going to prison for a very long time, all because of the contents of a video recording." Judge Lodder described the victim's injuries as profound and life-changing. The court heard that the bullets had entered the victim's back, causing catastrophic damage to his intestines, as well as a collapsed lung and a graze to his heart, among other injuries. He has since been left paralysed from the waist down and is wheelchair-bound, and his mum is forced to give up her job to be his primary carer. He's unable to wash his upper back, he's unable to stand without supporting his weight on a frame, and continues to suffer daily leg spasms and pain in his feet. He's unable to care for his child or be physically active. His injuries have left him with prolonged depression and challenges to his mental health. The judge also noted that a woman with their 2 small children were in the vicinity, as well as shoppers and other residents. Judge Lodder said, "With complete disregard to all other shops in the area, you fired those 10 shots. In the early afternoon, with shops on one side of the road and homes on the other." On the 5th of the 4th, 2023, Judge Peter Lodder delivered the sentences. Shannon Ann Lee Mary Rule, stand up. You have been found guilty by jury of attempted murder in Morden, South London, on the 22nd of June 2021. I sentence you to 30 years imprisonment. Take her down. Daniel Gordon, stand up. You have pleaded guilty to attempted murder in Morden, South London, on the 22nd of June 2021. I sentence you to 27 years imprisonment. You will remain on licence for a further 2 years after you have served your sentence. Take him down. Daniel Gordon and Shannon Rule received a joint 57-year sentence for a honey trap attempted murder. By sheer luck and quick work by paramedics and hospital staff, the victim survived, but his life has been severely impacted by the evil events caused by Shannon Rule and Daniel Gordon. The big question is, why, after doing all this, did Shannon Rule and Daniel Gordon run back to the crime scene? Well, let me tell you. After Shannon Rule and Daniel Gordon ran through the nature park entrance to escape, the couple had lost their bearings in the woods, and in fact ended up going roughly in a big circle, right back to the crime scene, where armed police were waiting. A case where true crime is certainly stranger than fiction.